This next question will start with Suzette. What are your top 3 priorities? Top 3 priorities.
4. Okay. Well, I think that really gets at the fiscal situation, because that's the thing we spend the most of our time talking about. And I would share with you, I think the 3 priorities follow along what we've talked about a little earlier, the roadmap that we've laid out, the short-term priorities, the midterm, and the long-term priorities. I would say with regards to the short-term priorities, we need to be able to control our compensation and benefit expenses. We need to be able to do that. And if things change at the state level as are expected, we will be given some of the tools to be able to balance our expenses with our revenues. And we are committed to doing that. The midterm priorities have more to do with, I think, looking forward, and not just the economic and growth conversation at the community level. I think the current potential budget repair bill will give us some opportunities we have yet to have to look at how do we deliver education for students going forward? What does it look like? How do we structure it? How do we pay for it? The door is being opened, the opportunity is being given to us to rethink how we do education in this state. And it's happening at the state level, but it's also we're able to have that conversation here. And we need to have that conversation here. We can do the short-term strategies to buy us some space and breathing room to have that conversation. We need to have it. How do we attract and retain and evaluate good teachers? If we no longer have the tenure system that is currently in place, we have a whole opportunity to rethink and redo that. If we have a different compensation system, we have a different way to think and redo that. And we know going forward, 21st century skills, we're trying to pack a 20th century educational model. We're trying to pack our students into that, and it no longer fits. We absolutely have to look forward and decide what is the best organization of teacher time, of student time. What is the face time for students? Should they be in a classroom 8 to 3 every day? What is the instructional delivery format for them? Is it face-to-face teacher lecture? Is it piling 50 kids in a lecture hall, each with a computer and one teacher? Or is it something different? One of my priorities is to take the opportunity we're being presented by the changes at the state level and look at what does that mean? What can we do at the local level in our district with our kids? We have a $40 million budget. We have 3,600 students, and we have a staff of over 300. That's a lot of resources without raising a single additional tax. How do we rethink how to put that all to work to produce the 21st century educated kids that we're all looking to have? I think it's a tremendous opportunity, and for me, that's a priority going forward, rethinking what we're doing.
Thank you.
I think Suzette's right. The priorities are, or should be, what's the best that we can provide for the students of Mequon Thiensville District? Secondly, how do we develop resources to deliver that best within the framework of fiscal constraints? And third, how do we develop a 21st century model for education when some aspects of that model aren't even on the drawing board? When I started teaching school, the computer would fit in this room. It would do 2 and 2 is 4, and it would take about 20 minutes to do it, and it looks good, and it hummed and buzzed and whistled. There's more power in an iPod, computing power in an iPod, than there is when they put men on the moon. So, things are changing, and they're changing rapidly. We need to develop a model, but we need to leave open some arenas that we just don't know what we're getting. Thank you.
3 words: autonomy, mastery, purpose. And let me explain. The school system is coming upon a time where I think it will have the autonomy to redesign itself and redevelop itself. And I think some of that, the constraints that have been on it up until this point, are going to make a huge difference. Secondly, mastery of the craft. It's a fine school system. It can go to the next level. I commented earlier that it's just table stakes today. And I think the last one is purpose. This community can take this system and be the one that's the showcase for the rest of the country. You've got so many assets here that was previously commented on that you can, I think, literally leverage that and be on the national news saying Mequon Thiensville School District is the one to watch for.
Thank you. This question will be for Jim first. Would you seek or accept the endorsement of the teachers union?
Would I seek or accept the endorsement of the teachers union, or as a candidate?
As a candidate.
You know, my understanding is that school boards are non-political. That answers your question.
Sydney?
For me, I'll second that one.
In all my time on the board, I don't think there's ever been endorsement either for or against any school board candidate or school board elected official. I think we strive to have good relationships. We strive to sit down and be able to put our interests out and talk together and try and come to some mutual understanding of what we can and can't do. It's a foreign question. It's not really something that we seek, but we do have relationship with the Teachers Association, and as long as there is an association, we will continue to do that respectfully and thoughtfully.